Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka A-Drive, bringing to you guys 6 new Pokemon after a brand new Pokemon announcement that just went down a few days ago. Now, I do know I'm a few days late on this, as I just mentioned, but that's because I was on my honeymoon, I was out of the country, I turned my phone off for an entire week, and I had no internet access, so I turned my phone on yesterday, I saw these new Pokemon, and I was so hyped, but I wasn't able to give you guys a video until today, so again, I apologize on the delay. I should be pretty much on top of it for the rest of Sun and Moon release information news, but unfortunately, like I said, I was gone, so I couldn't really make a video, but I got an overwhelming amount of tweets and people saying, hey, A-Drive, we want you to cover these new Pokemon and kind of get your thoughts. So these are more my first impressions and kind of my initial thoughts on these Pokemon. So again, I don't really anticipate there to be anything groundbreaking in this video, just my thoughts and my kind of my first take on them. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. So the first Pokemon that was revealed in this trailer is this new Pokemon called Wimpod, and Wimpod is a bug type baby. Feeling it. So we got my man Grub, and we got Charjabug, we got the homie Vikavolt, and now we've got Wimpod among others. We knew we have Cutiefly as well. So all these bug types, I'm already feeling so much better than I was in Kalos because we only got the Vivillon line in Kalos. Here we are, 3 new bug lines, and I'm feeling it. Now I gotta say, Wimpod, Bug Water, really cool there, right? So the only other Bug Water Pokemon in the game is Surskit, so really hyped about that because Surskit does evolve into a flying type. Hopefully this thing does not, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be flying type. Looks like it'll retain its water typing. Hopefully it retains its bug typing as well. Looks kind of like a crayfish type of thing there. I don't know, what am I, a horseshoe crab is another thing. I guess Kabuto's kind of like that too, but so it kind of looks like one of those things, and it's got the ability Wimp Out, which when its HP drops below half, it actually switches out of battle. It flees, which is kind of annoying, so this thing might be kind of tough to catch. You're gonna just have to throw your Master Balls at it right off the bat there, but otherwise it looks pretty cool. You know, I'm not like super blown away on the design, but what I will say is I feel that there's a ton of potential with this Pokemon's evolution. It kind of reminds me of an Anorith to an Armaldo type of thing, and once you realize where Armaldo's eyes actually are, it's actually a pretty cool Pokemon. So I'm excited about Wimpod. You guys know I love my bug types, and I think this thing will be pretty neat. It does say it's got some pretty interesting information on the website about its stench, its toxic fluids that can kind of, you know, signal other Pokemon that there's danger, and it does seem like it's a pretty cowardly Pokemon, which the way Pokemon does things, man, they always tend to take those weak type Pokemon and they evolve them into these like powerful monsters. So don't be surprised if Wimpod ends up being super duper powerful after an evolution or two. It looks like a 2-stager to me, but I don't know, we'll see. But I think Wimpod's pretty cool. So and let's jump to the next one here, because there's some really cool ones. We got Bonsweet here, which is a grass type Pokemon. It's a fruit Pokemon, and it's got the abilities Leaf Guard and Oblivious, so nothing too crazy with its abilities, nothing new there. And I gotta say, I saw this thing and I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I see the potential. It's a fruit Pokemon. You know, we have, it just reminds me of Cherim and it's Cherim and whatever its evolved form is, which is I can't, Cherim and I don't know what the heck it's called. I don't know, but you know, the little flower thing, and I can't remember its name, but it reminds me of that, and that Pokemon is such a disappointment. Unfortunately, I'm hoping Bonsweet is not, but in any Pokemon game, in any Pokemon reach, you have to have your good Pokemon and your bad Pokemon and your in-between Pokemon. Now, we don't know. Bonsweet is definitely looking like it's going to be a first stage Pokemon. Definitely looks like it's going to evolve. I don't know what it's going to evolve into. It looks like it could be Fairy, too, after evolution. I don't know. Kind of gives me that Lilligant vibe as well, like Petalil, Lilligant vibe, so maybe it'll kind of be along those lines. Very interesting Pokemon, though. It says, in terms of information on the website here, doesn't really say too much. It says it's a really popular Pokemon in the Alola region. It's got a calming effect on humans, and they let it live inside their homes as an air freshener. Sometimes it's swallowed by a hole, drawn to its aroma by other Pokemon. I don't think Wimpod's gonna be swallowing Bonsweet, but I feel like this is such a French name for this Pokemon. I don't know about you guys, but to me that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But this is Alola, this is Hawaii, this isn't France. But either way, so that's Bonsweet. Nothing too crazy to say about it. Like I said, we don't really have any crazy information about it. I think he uses like Razor Leaf in the trailer. Nothing too nuts. But the next Pokemon we've got is gonna be Comfey, which is a very strange name. I don't know. It's a posy picker. It's basically like a lay with like a little fairy on it. And this kind of gives me that like Flabebe kind of vibe too. I love fairy types. Well, I don't really love fairy types, but I'm glad they introduced a new type, and I like the creativity behind some of these fairy types. I like this guy. I mean, it really fits into the vibes of the Alola region. We've got some really bright, vibrant colored Pokemon that are very, very interesting looking, and this is a really, really neat one. And the thing that makes this neat, how neat is that, is the ability Tri-Edge. It's a new ability we haven't seen in gosh, I wish Triad was on some other Pokemon, but this is going to make it so restoration moves like Synthesis and things like that have priority. Similar to kind of like how Sableye works with Prankster Recover, it looks like Comfey is going to have the ability to do the same kind of thing, but only with Recover moves. I wonder if that's going to impact things like, you know, Leech Seed and stuff. I doubt it, but I think it's more going to be like Synthesis, maybe Moonlight and things like that. But nevertheless, really neat. Looks pretty, I don't know, interesting, but I definitely can see this thing evolving into some super duper flowery fairy thingy. I don't know, maybe it won't evolve. Maybe it'll be like the Klefki of this region kind of thing. I don't know. I guess it kind of gives me like a Klefki kind of vibe too, just from a design perspective alone. But this is interesting. I gotta say the name is kind of funny. I don't know what the etymology is. That the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. I don't know what the name is. The nomenclature is supposed to be from. I think of like comfy, like, oh, I'm super comfortable right now, but it shouldn't be that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making things up here. I have no idea, but I do love the tie to the region. I love the kind of like the lay vibe going on there with the little fairy dude chilling on it, holding on to his little flowers. Pretty sweet. I'm curious to see if this has a similar thing to Flabebe, where the flowers can change colors. You can get a different color pattern based on where you find it. I doubt it, but maybe, I don't know. In terms of stuff it says on the website, it just says it picks the flowers and always carries them around, so it does get the flowers separately, so it is possible that it's got that Flabebe kind of vibe, so that'll be interesting to see, but love the ability, and I'm hoping that there's some other Pokemon with it, because it's actually a really cool ability. The next Pokemon is a huge favorite. I saw the internet and Twitter blowing up over this Pokemon. This is Mudsdale, and people are hyped about this guy. This is a Clydesdale horse, ground type, own tempo, and stamina. Stamina is a new ability we haven't seen before, which is actually really neat. It looks like when it gets hit by an attack, it actually goes up one stage with its defense. Really, really cool. This thing looks like it's going to be one of those Pokemon. It's got a really good attack stat, really good HP stat, pretty good defense. Average speed, it doesn't look, I have a feeling it's gonna be like around the 70 base speed. Obviously I have no way to know these things. It's just kind of the vibe I'm getting from its look and its typing and things like that. I definitely feel like it's gonna be a more bulky, like tanky kind of Pokemon, but with a good attack stat, I would guess. I don't know if it's gonna evolve too. I feel like this is one of those Pokemon that really kind of borders the line of it could evolve, it might not evolve. I don't know, I'm kind of torn about that. Let me know in the comment section whether you think this guy is gonna evolve or not. But I gotta say, man, a lot of people are hyped about this design. I think it's neat. I'm not like blown away by it personally. I think it's pretty cool though. I'm not sure what the tie to Clydesdales to Hawaii is, or if it's relevant to the region, but nevertheless, I think the only other like pony type Pokemon we have are like Ponyta, Rapidash, that kind of stuff. So about time we get something new, and I love the pure ground typing. Really, really neat. It's a great typing. Having that immunity to electric, obviously. It has a couple weaknesses, you know, grass and water and whatever else, ice, but nevertheless, really, really cool Pokemon, and it did have a signature move, it looked like, in the trailer. It like kind of hit it with its hoof, and looks pretty interesting, man. So it does say on the website that its legs are coated in protective mud, so I'm really feeling like this dude is gonna be pretty bulky and pretty tanky. So I guess time will tell, but definitely a fan favorite on this one. I gotta tell you though, this one is the Pokemon that I thought was very interesting, and I was blown away when I saw this thing. So this actually leaked in CoroCoro ahead of time, and like I said, I wasn't on my phone during my honeymoon, so I didn't see any of this stuff, but I did happen to see the CoroCoro release because I hopped onto the internet just to take a quick look at a couple little things, just to see any news that might have released, but I didn't tweet or anything like that. I didn't let anyone know I looked, but I did see this thing on my honeymoon. Actually, my fiance saw it, and she told me about it, but, well, she's my wife now, actually, but, so yeah, she saw this, and very interesting. It's got the ability to disguise, really, really interesting. It's a ghost and fairy type. Love that. I love the ghost fairy. I think that's really cool. Its ability to disguise basically kind of gives it a substitute off the bat, where it seems like it's immune to the first hit it gets hit with, and then its form kind of changes. Now, the thing I love about this Pokemon the most is the storyline behind it. It's a Pokemon that's a ghost type that has never really actually been seen, and it wears this cloth that was from a Pikachu style merchandise 20 years ago. Here we are, the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. I love it, man. I love how they tied that in the story to the real world and how they've had 20 years of Pokemon. And Mimikyu is a really neat looking Pokemon in terms of, not neat looking in terms of its look, but I am very curious to see whether it ends up taking that cloth off in an evolution or something like that, because I think it could be really cool. I don't know if this is, we've we've already got our Pikachu clone type Pokemon. We saw that already, so I don't know if this is going to be something totally different, but I actually love it. I think a lot of people were like hating on this thing. I think it's a really cool idea, and it's innovative, it's different, and I'm very curious to see what it looks like after, if it takes its cloak off, and it doesn't look like Pikachu anymore. What does it look like? Because I have a feeling it might end up actually looking pretty cool, pretty cute, but I love that. So I just love the story behind the Pokemon, and I think it's so cool when they have backstories to Pokemon and why they're the way they are. And it says that this Pokemon is dreadfully lonely, and it thought it would only be able to make friends with humans if it looked like a Pikachu. So I really want to see how the story evolves with this Pokemon. I think there could be a lot about this thing, and they can really tie in some storylines to it. And I'm excited to see what Mimikyu has in store for us. Now, the last Pokemon that was revealed is Bewear, and I gotta say, guys, this is another one that was released in the Coral, so I've had a little bit more time to digest it. When I saw this thing, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is the ugliest Pokemon design I've ever seen. I was, oh my goodness. So I'm not one of those people who's gonna trash a Pokemon design, because sometimes they grow on you know what I mean? I can say like certain Pokemon that I didn't like originally, they've grown on me a lot, and Bewear might be one of those. I'm starting to like it the more I look at it, I'll be honest, but it's a normal fighting type Pokemon, a great typing. Oh my goodness, Mega Lopunny is the only other normal fighting type that I can think of right now, and it is a phenomenal type Pokemon, especially if you give it Scrappy, because then it's able to hit those ghost types. Now Bewear doesn't have Scrappy, it's got Fluffy and Klutz, so Klutz is an ability, we can just ignore that because it's not too crazy, but Fluffy is a new ability, very, very interesting. Now, it actually halves the damage taken from attacks that make direct contact. So kind of similar to Fur Coat on Furfrou, but just slightly different. But it also takes double the damage from fire moves, which is kind of similar to like how Dry Skin would work or something like that, where it has a downside, but it has a positive side too. And that positive side is huge. So anything that makes contact, so physical moves, they do half damage. That makes this thing super duper tanky. And it does look like this thing is going to be very, very powerful. I love the story behind it too. It acts friendly in fashion, it swings its arms, but you can't approach it because it's a dangerous Pokemon. And they put warning signs around where it is because it's so dangerous. It grows fond of its trainer, and if it tries to hug its trainer, it can actually hurt them. So I thought that was kind of funny, but very interesting to see a normal fighting type. Again, the design, it hasn't really grown on me yet. Lily isn't really a big fan of the design, I guess, but sorry about the barking. But those are the new 6 Pokemon, guys. So again, I am sorry that I'm late with this information. There's nothing I can do about it. Like I said, I was out of the country and I didn't have my computer and stuff, but hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know which of these 6 Pokemon you like the most, and I'll be definitely bringing you guys more Pokemon Sun and Moon news as it comes out, and hopefully in a bit more timely fashion. But I'm glad to be back on my computer. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. My name is Dan, also by A-Drive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.